Hi, caretakers. Today's topic is minimalism. As always, the information should not be used as a substitute for advice from appropriately qualified licensed practitioners of medicine, psychology, law, ADA, or financial planning. On the expanded disability scale, we are at a level 1, which is minimal signs. So when you think of minimalism, you want to look at it in the terms of freedom, and you want to look at trying to optimize your living space before it becomes more difficult. And especially as the disability progresses, it's one of those things where you start to really understand what's really important in your life and what helps you versus what is considered more like clutter. So think about a hospital room or assisted living space and think about what you would use or what you would take in that condition, and that will help you determine what's really necessary in your life. As you start to lighten your load and work on things that are smaller, life becomes a lot easier. So for the resources, I've linked them in the comment section below. As always, you can check out the website, www.yorkshirepartners.com. For this presentation, we've looked at YouTube, different websites, and lean apps. So one of my favorite movies is Fight Club, and there's a quote by Chuck Palahniuk, who's the author, and it says, "It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything." And when you think about having a storm and just kind of clearing your path, that's what this is about. So you might have heard about 5S or 6S from work. That is so relevant in our daily lives, even with our homes. There used to be a show called Clean House, and I used to love watching that show because it was basically the 5S principles in a residential setting. And by the end of that half hour of the show, you felt like you've accomplished something by watching the show, but your house was still a mess. So with that, it starts with sorting. So you want to really look at anything in your life and figure out what are really necessary. What do you use as far as, just clearing out your jewelry box or your sock drawer or your clothes, and then look at your office or your kitchen. What utensils do you need or use, and which ones don't you? And then start donating those items. And then it's really truly after you go through a huge purge or a huge sort process that you can figure out what's left and find places for what's left and organize it so that it's easier. So especially with somebody that has a disability, what you'll find is things like area rugs need to be moved out of the way. So you might, again, donate those and leave more, solid surface flooring. And then the other thing is like knickknacks and stuff like that. Once you take those out, it's a lot easier to, clean and shine. And again, if you have somebody that can help you before they become, increasingly disabled, it's one of those things where if you can have them help you, with the minor housekeeping chores, it makes your life so much easier as a caretaker. And then again, looking at safety, and so once you take the rugs out, you want to look at grab bars, things like that. And then the same thing for your safety. The more independent you can let that person be, the less likely it is that they're going to put a strain on you. So you want to try to make the living conditions easy for that person. And then you want to try to standardize stuff so that, especially if you have other caretakers or people coming in to help you, that you have a consistent routine. And the routine is what really helps that person day in and day out. And it'll give you a break if you can simplify that, and then just try to sustain and make sure that you work to minimize the clutter and contamination. So again, when you do the evaluation, a little deeper dive, things that you might want to look at, do you need to remove doors on closets so that's easier for people to get in and out to get their clothes? Any sort of clutter in the closets, that helps. Position things for easier mobility for cleaning. Again, think about a hospital. It's just very minimalist, or hotel, assisted living where there's less to wipe down and easier to dust. And then safety, you just, again, want to look at increasing needs for disability and eliminate falls. and make things very visible for communication. Standardize, you want to mark where things go so that if you have a third party, you know it's missing so you can footprint stuff. Make sure that medications are clear. So a lot of times if you have the medication reminders, again, I'll put links in below on some of the medication reminders that are nice so you can tell if there's something that's missed or coming up. Appointments and calendars, very visual, and then just keep evaluating on how to make things easier as you go forward. So another quote from Fight Club is that only after disaster can we be resurrected. It is after you've lost everything that you are free to do anything, and you're not static, and everything is evolving and everything is falling apart. So for your plan, do, check, act, starting with plan, you want to set a timeline for your goals and figure out where do you want to be in 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months, and give yourself time, set time away, on a weekend or something like that to basically, get your life in order. It makes your daily living so much nicer. And then just work towards minimalization, even if it's 5 minutes a day here and there. Pick one area of your house, a drawer here, a drawer there, and just kind of keep going at it, and then check on a weekly basis to see what your progress is. If you have things that are holding you back, whether it's motivation, timing, resources, whatever it is, try to figure out how to overcome those. And then just, again, once you get that done, keep evaluating. In conclusion, I wanted to end with a final quote from Fight Club. The things that you used to own, now they own you. And it's so poignant because when you think about things such as jewelry or cars or possessions that you might feel have inherent value or sentimentality, when you go to sell those, they might not necessarily bring what you feel that they're worth. But with that, you're putting a lot of emphasis and a lot of stress on protecting those things that really don't bring you joy or value to your life. And I hope that helps. Please take care of yourself and join me on future videos.